Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of my most excellent videos. In front of us is XHDATA D-109. It's an AM/FM stereo, shortwave, longwave, portable radio with Bluetooth and MP3 player. You can find these selling for around $50. I'll have links down below to the best place to get them. It's a feature-packed radio. In this video, I'm going to perform an evening medium wave band scan, but first I'll go over features, second I'll do a size comparison, and of course, finally, I'll start cruising the evening band. So let's check it out, the XHDATA D-109. Packed with features for the money. Love it. Left-hand side, we have an antenna jack for FM and shortwave antennas. We have a headphone jack for FM, Bluetooth, and MP3 stereo playback. A carry strap here on the left. Going to the front, you can see it says XHDATA. We have a 40mm opening there. That's where our speaker's at, about 1.5 inches. It seems small, but this thing really rocks. A lot of low end. You're going to like it. Two little openings here. We have a microphone and a buzzer. LCD similar to a Texan. We have the clock, a secondary display showing a temperature, and it will show alarm times when the radio is off. So we have two alarms. And when the radio is on, it'll also show local time there, and it'll show the signal strength and signal noise ratio. Of course, battery life indicator, and you'll notice it's 24-hour clock or 12-hour clock. And we have a backlight that can be set all the time when the radio is on or off, which is great. That's very handy to have that on a radio. Most of you will agree. So we have buttons here, quite a few of them. Get my pen out so it's easier to point them out here. We have time set, two alarms you can set. You can wake to the radio, buzzer, or MP3 player. Awesome. Dedicated sleep function. Love that. Usually it's tied to the power button, but in this radio, it's not. It has its own button. Of course, power button does what it does. Display button, which I showed you, toggles that secondary display. Lockout feature for locking the radio out when you're carrying it. Scan functions like a browse feature found on Texan radios under the VM and VF buttons. On those radios, you press and hold these, but on this radio, you do not. You have a scan here instead of that. VM means view memories. VF means view frequencies. You'll typically be on either one depending on how your radio is set up. My radio is set up to use memories, and I'll show you that. It's pretty awesome. Over here, we have stereo, toggling stereo mode on or off. B means beep, turn the beep on and off. Mine's off. I hate it. It's annoying. BW bandwidth. You have 6 kilohertz, 4, 3, 2, and 1 kilohertz on the AM, FM, and AM, shortwave, and longwave bands. Here we have the little icon for the light. You can press and hold and turn the light off now, or leave it on like I have it now. Shortwave, we have shortwave down, shortwave up. You press any of these to access shortwave band immediately. And of course, you can go up and down the segmented bands they have in here. And of course, if you press and hold, it'll auto scan and save all the broadcast bands with the negative. And the plus one, if you press and hold, it'll auto scan and save just the broadcast band you're on. Over here, we have medium long wave toggle button. And of course, it has auto scan and save. And over here, we have FM, auto scan and save if you press and hold. Now, of course, you get 100 presets on FM, 100 on medium wave, 100 on long wave, and 300 on shortwave, give you a total of 600 memories. Down here, we have a numeric keypad to direct enter frequencies when you're in the VF mode. If you'll notice, you got little red lettering. FM set, you have 4 FM bands, 64, 76, 87, and 87.5 to 108. So you can choose any 4 of those FM bands. Here we have 9 or 10K on the medium wave. You can switch back and forth. And of course, you can do 12-hour clock or 24-hour clock there. Down here we have memory button. So you can manually enter your memories, which is fantastic. Delete function to delete your memories manually. Over here, we have the Bluetooth and music player functions, and also some radio functions as well. Bluetooth will automatically take you to the Bluetooth mode out of any band you're on. Music, same thing, goes right to music. It has a one-track thing where it just plays one track over and over. That's all you really get for the music player. Very basic, but it works well. Pause, play, track forward, track back, fast forward, rewind. Nice features for the MP3 player. Also, MP3 player does remember where you're at on the track. So if you have an hour track and you're 45 minutes in and you turn the radio off, it will resume at that 45-minute mark. Beautiful. When you're on the radio, if you hit pause play, that mutes the radio. If you're in memory mode, this will go up in memory or down memory. And if you're in the frequency mode, this fine tunes. So if you're in medium wave, 1 kilohertz up, 1 kilohertz down. If you're in FM, I believe it's 10 kilohertz up, 10 kilohertz down. So super fine tuning on those. So we're done with the buttons. Let's go to the right hand side of the radio. We have the tuning knob. It has fast slow tuning. It does not have a way to lock in fast or lock in slow, which is unfortunate. Volume control, DC input, Type C. A lot of people like Type C. There you go. Top of the radio, we got a 21-inch antenna, beautiful for FM and shortwave reception. On the back of the radio, we got a kick-out stand with our frequency information. As you can see, full coverage on shortwave, but to access some of that, you have to manually enter it with your direct entry keypad versus trying to scan. Scan will only work scanning the broadcast bands. Got long wave, there's your medium wave FM. Awesome. And down here we have our battery compartment, and it has an 18650 unprotected button top. This is a 2000 milliamp variety. You can upgrade it. I have a battery here. This is a Samsung 3500, so I can almost double my capacity by putting this battery in. Very handy that they let you change the batteries. I'm glad that they do that. So let's get that back in there. Always fun to do on camera. Here we are. On the bottom of the radio, we're almost ready to get this thing turned on. Reset hole there, and then we have the micro SD card slot that can support 32 gigabytes. Of course, got little rubber feet so it can stand up nice. Beautiful. All right, size comparison. All right, bring this up a little bit, and then we'll zip through the band here. So CC Pocket. Of course, you can see current time is 11:57. That's Central Standard Time. I'm near Chicago, Illinois, USA. So you can see this is a relatively large radio. Next, I have the R108. This is a good comparison because a lot of people have the R108. I'm very happy with it. Definitely a bigger radio because of the bigger battery, bigger compartment, but the buttons are nicer. They're raised up, easy to use. I mean, just a very nice radio to use. And the light being on all the time is a favorite of mine. Now, what I don't like is the tuning knob on the 109. The 108 is nice. Wish it was on the 109. I wish it was better because it's just thin. You can see how much more narrow it is. And it has no fast, slow tuning that this has. This you can press in and change fast, slow, and stop. This doesn't have that. This just has fast, slow tuning, which is very annoying. And I found a workaround. And you're going to get to see that workaround in action. And of course, you don't have those two radios. Guess what? We have Iron Man in the house. Yeah. He's Iron Man. He is the man with the master plan. He loves XHDATAs with the shortwave band. He's Iron Man. And now he's going to listen to the medium wave band. Yeah. You get the idea. Cool. Deck of cards. Buy a D-109 today. Okay. He's commanded you to do so. Let's go ahead and turn this on. So, fast, slow tuning. Not a joy. So what I did with this radio, you get 100 memories, like I mentioned. Let's bring that back on down. So with 100 memories, you can do quite a bit. So what I did, I set mine up. Every 10 kilohertz is a memory. So memory 2 is 540. Memory 3 is 550. You see how I did that? All the way up to 100. So that's fantastic. It stops at around 1520, then I got to manually do it. So let's see what we find. And of course, I want to fine tune. I can go VF, view frequency mode. I have these buttons here. I can go to 1 kilohertz, up or down if I have an offending station. It's just a great setup. Once you get it tuned like this, I like it. So we're going to go back to view memory. Of course, bam, we're on medium wave, frequency, and we have our signal noise ratio, and we have our signal strength. We also have it there, but that's only 2 segments, so I don't understand how good that is. Over here, you can change, get your local time. If you want to log a station right at midnight, cool. All right, let's go ahead and start tuning. Just picking up a hint of music there. I think it's coming from Cuba, which is 1,700 miles away. I'm going to put a Terk Advantage passive loop next to it. Improve the signal. Go through our bandwidth options. There, he can hear better. Playing some kind of tune. Nice. Gotta get a kick out of that. This thing is powerful. Okay, let's keep going.
Well, insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Liberty Mutual.
Okay, so you see me turning the radio, of course. There's an internal ferrite antenna with medium wave. And of course you have to direct it towards the frequency you're trying to receive, or the station you're trying to receive. So this is WAUK, Jackson, Wisconsin, 70 miles to the north, 400 watts at night. And if you turn it to a different direction, you'll pick up other stations.
We've got U.S.-wide weather now.
So we're probably picking up CBK, Watrous, Saskatchewan, which is 1,025 miles to the west. There's quite a bit going on. Okay, keep going.
His involvement with the study. Former NIH Director Francis Collins.
560 WIND, Chicago, local. As you can see, the numbers are higher.
Allowing Fauci to send millions in grant money to the EcoHealth Alliance.
Tough night tonight. KCSP, Kansas City, Missouri, 400 miles, 5,000 watts to the southwest.
WTMJ News. Public hearings on that budget will soon begin. State Senate Majority Leader Devin Lemon.
This is kind of a local 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 52 miles, 10,000 watts to the north. Of course, the radio works bidirectional.
So that way it makes it easy, because we usually get big crowds at these things. It's very close.
Country music, CFCO 630, Chatham, Ontario, 310 miles, 6,000 watts. And sometimes I get a different station pointing it that way. Cool.
Sectors and organizations, and CTU is one of them. It's not the only one.
I think it's WMFN 640, Peatone, Illinois, 75 miles away, 1,600 watts.
But did I respect him as an educator and doing the right thing?
You're listening to WSM Classics from WSM Radio.
So there you go, WSM, Nashville, Tennessee, 434 miles to the south. Coming in clear as a bell.
Jackson, the player, I don't know if I would trust him, and because of that awful Deshaun Watson contract. Now, I don't blame him all. He's saying, well, if Deshaun got that, then I deserve that. And he's right, he does. But is there going to be a team that's going to give him that when you have to worry about, as a quarterback, and you can tell me his defensive pocket pass or how he's developed, but obviously his game is based on his legs, and the way he plays, I mean, the best one.
So yeah, I can micro-tune which I was doing there, which is nice. This is 660 WFAN, New York, New York, which is home of the Yankees, and it's northeast, 750 miles.
Also, what's the best receiver Lamar's ever had with the Baltimore Ravens?
And it's a full week of just bumping into people that you shouldn't, but then you get great conversation.
Right next to a strong 670 local home of the Cubs, at WSCR Chicago.
Outside linebacker. I just cannot speak highly enough on him. He is going to be a menace on the field, and he's going to be a locker room key for.
Okay, I think it's a CKGM, Montreal, Quebec, 763 miles. Yeah. 700 WLW, Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles.
And those consumers have a relationship with the DJs that are on.
Weathermakers, heating, cooling, and plumbing.
You know us as the 60 Minutemen. Now there are more than 4,000...
720 WGN, Chicago, one of my strongest stations.
If you install a new furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump from American Weathermakers, you can qualify for over 2...
So we're just, you can barely, it's real faint there. CKDM, this is Dauphin, Manitoba, 820 miles to the northwest. Okay, 740 is CFZM, Zoomer Radio, Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles to the northeast.
Individual. I'm a ferocious, non-cupcake interviewer. All right, I want to have
Love the audio. WSB, Atlanta, Georgia, 630 miles southeast.
So in the summer of 2020, we had 574 riots, right?
Kids as women. No.
Here's 760 WGR, Detroit, Michigan, 270 miles.
You can't separate it anymore because the breast of an animal, be it a human, a cow, a goat, a sheep.
So here's WABC, New York, 750 miles.
Are selling their milk near the dairy aisle, even though they don't contain...
I never heard of such a thing. Sam, you hand over that chain right now. You just try and make me, woman. My mother give that to Paul, and he give it to me.
Yeah, try saying that to your wife today. Old Time Radio on WBBM, Chicago.
You're always giving him something. Suppose you give him that box of canned goods out by the back door, too. I just loaned Sam the money for that until his pension check comes through. We bought the stuff because he invited me for supper. What for?
Nice.
Howard, Mexico's a tense place to be right now.
So we're going to have a lot of coast-to-coast right now. 810 is WGY, Albany, New York, 740 miles. I can't hover on coast-to-coast, otherwise I would.
We're childhood friends, and we're...
20.1, which doesn't sound up to my lawsuit as far as I can tell.
To me, it feels like it's all part of the same story because the reason they were...
I think this is WCPT, local station, Joliet, Illinois, 60 miles away, 1,500 watts at night.
The Dominion stuff. So it's
This way is WBAP, Fort Worth, Texas.
Japan, which were their second, third, and fourth biggest importers, and there were big rises in...
So here is WCCO, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 310 miles.
65%. Exports of...
As you said, shooting Williams once in one leg and twice in the other.
So here's 840 WHAS, Louisville, Kentucky. Again, coast to coast.
Thanks to Mexico's
I usually have my radio tuned to this.
Of security cameras.
4 minutes into the second half, UNC gets it across the court. Underfoot Phillips, Flair up on the right side. Don Trev style with exactly that from Flair. And Flair to the basket, 79-55. UNC's forced to be aggressive.
Game.
Third board movement of the ball for an easy dunk finish.
Mike Cousins, Jordan Barnett calling it here on ESPN Radio. North Carolina rolls 85-61 to advance. Cardinals will face number 2 Virginia, the 2 seed in the tournament, in the quarterfinals. On Tuesday, they split their regular season series, each winning at home. North Carolina moving up slightly, although Joe Lunardi still has them in the first 4 out. Pitt, an 89-81 win over Georgia Tech. Pitt advances to face the 4-seed Duke in the quarterfinal round. NC State, a 20-point rout of Virginia Tech. They'll face Clemson in the quarterfinals. They swept Clemson in the regular season series. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio.
If you're a Ravens fan, you're looking around at Lamar and you're thinking, man, if we don't have Lamar, we don't have a chance.
They've seen that this offense, which has basically been built around Lamar Jackson's skill set, is not really workable.
So 850 KOA, Denver, Colorado. I was waiting for the call letters. 890 miles to the west. CJBC, Toronto, Ontario.
Is to stay for 2 years, but if you end up really liking it and you can stay 3 years, I just feel like there's a lot of variables that when you're
WWL, New Orleans, Louisiana, 865 miles south.
Tethered down.
Yeah,
Coming in clear.
I'm going to New Zealand and I'm selling the house.
Yeah, I mean, Iona for sure. I mean, what Rick Pitino has done has been remarkable. I would have thought Hofstra until they lost the other night.
Here's 880 WCBS, New York, New York. 750 miles, coming in like a local.
Even a team like Seton Hall, if they had a good run in the Big East tournament, and then I find out I got off the plane that they basically lost in the first round.
I think to myself, well, okay, you guys have given up on journalism too.
So here's WLS, Chicago.
It's given up on don't correct my grammar. You guys go into
CHML, Hamilton, Ontario. Coming in kind of weak. 430 miles.
I wanted to ask whether you support all those protesters' right to protest, because members of the coalition...
It could be WFDF, Detroit, Michigan, 270 miles, 25,000 watts at night. Got some good music on WFAW, Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. Yes, I can hear that during the day and night. Though at night it seems to come in much clearer. I like it. It's awesome.
Every abuse is wrong. But this time I called for years. He can stand in, but as far as going all the way, going deep in the playoffs, we don't have to get
A couple stations there.
He does this, and it's called Humphrey Hawkins.
And that's been Syracuse basketball for me now for the last 35 years. And I can't, here I am 52 years old. And I'm like, he's just walking away. Dude, Frostberg, you didn't even go to college, okay? So just stop with it. You didn't even go. No, they just gave me a degree. You have a Long Beach State University hat. And that's the only thing.
Okay, I think this is KMBZ, Kansas City, Missouri, 490 miles, 5,000 watts.
Number one, do you have...
Because at that point she was still, relatively healthy.
Here's CBW, Winnipeg, Manitoba, 675 miles.
And was diagnosed with sepsis. And they eventually provided her the...
New York City, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU. This is Sports Center all night.
WMVP, Chicago.
Affected by the toxic water at Camp Lejeune are left with death.
Men can do that too. Hey, I mean, I know we're 15 minutes past international, so but really good a chance to talk because we didn't see what was going to happen around yesterday.
Hint of KDKA, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
4-year-old man is in custody. President Biden will release his budget proposal on Thursday. ABC's Karen Travers with the preview.
The White House says President Biden's budget...
WBZ, Boston, Massachusetts, 880 miles.
...expected. Press Secretary...
And that's what the Fed's predicting. There's been a recession. Of course,
WHO, Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles.
kind of blew the response. That's what the Fed's predicting. There's been a recession. Of course, I've been predicting recession, but...
Here we are, WLIP, Kenosha, Wisconsin, 32 miles away, 250 watts at night.
They're not aiming for the unemployment.
On what the cap should look like, City Hall Bureau Chief Pat Loeb has the story.
Chinatown Development Corporation helps the city get near...
KYW, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 700 miles northeast.
...program to begin planning for the Vine Street cap. Director Jon...
Bitnovage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs.
Here's KAAY, Little Rock, Arkansas, 570 miles to the south.
Navage is the best thing I've bought. I love it.
Or the rate expected, the market expected in December.
So here's WTAM, Cleveland, Ohio, 345 miles. I'm not hovering on stations today because, coast to coast, they're copyright their stuff. So
Just in the last 2 months.
I think that might be
in the middle of the action. She was behind it.
Yeah, here we are, 1120, St. Louis, Missouri, 275 miles.
Ricocheted around her. She would occasionally lean out and
just a hint of Bloomberg Radio, WBBR, New York City, New York. Bandwidth.
in your ability to protect what you love. Here's how it works.
So here's 1140 WRVA, Richmond, Virginia, 665 miles.
Your smartphone or tablet via Bluetooth. It gives instant feedback on
that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength.
WYLL, Hope for Your Life, Chicago, Illinois. Local.
Because of what he did on the cross, he fulfilled every prophecy, every type, every picture perfectly.
Save a ton of money and improve your shooting. Start improving today. Get yours at MantisX.com. That's Mantis.
Okay, 1180 is WHAM, Wham, Rochester, New York, 545 miles.
But there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Improve your shooting. Start improving today. Get yours at Mantis.
The arts, labels, and one small step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences.
This is WOAI, San Antonio, Texas. This is 1,000 miles away, southeast.
Me too, but I'm glad we are. Love has no labels.
WPHT, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 700 miles. Now I'm going to cruise up the band pretty quick. These presets.
Any other priest in the future,
and the series. Coast to coast, George Snorri with you. Court order irrelevant. If you feel beyond direct to consumer,
Rally around those we care about.
Coast to coast is on every station almost. It's crazy.
Schedule an appointment.
That has deep.
More.
Your actions extending on public service as a journalist before becoming a young.
Okay, so now my memory ends here, so I have to go to frequency mode and do that fast, slow tuning. So bear with me.
And he says his game is cool. Quite frankly, that just shows how little.
1530 WCKY, Cincinnati, Ohio.
And yet, y'all, you running around talking about a dynasty? The dynasty starts
300 miles.
Not with you. When you contribute in the way that I have contributed to 4 championships. Next.
While you're at it, make sure your tires are properly inflated.
1540 KXEL, Waterloo, Iowa, 210 miles to the west.
Your fuel economy and result in blowouts. This report is brought to you by Shell Rotella. Shell Rotella, with advanced synthetic technology, is designed to help keep your rig running.
Yeah, this fast, slow tuning, sometimes you go past the station you want to stop on. We'll go 1610.
Granger courtside seats in Boise, Idaho. For the ones who get it done, Granger offers professional.
Should be WAAM. 1600 is Ann Arbor, Michigan. 231 miles. 5,000 watts.
Second free throw good. 66-59. Montana State with the lead and a foul in the backcourt on the Heat coming from the Northern Arizona press. And free throws coming, 2 of them for the Bobcats.
Music there, 1610, CHHA, Toronto, Ontario.
Al Gasol means a lot to that city's goal. And Kobe said this on numerous occasions. Hey, I don't have these titles. We don't have these.
KOZN, Bellevue, Nebraska, 390 miles.
And when you have that, you got to have an album.
1,000 watts at night.
But I have to have
You don't need much power on these toward the top of the band to get the distance at night.
With a bunch of expertise. And speaking of choices, how about choosing between
KCJJ, Iowa City, Iowa, 175 miles, 1,000 watts.
5G or free Moto G power when you get our
We personalize this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
KCNZ, Waterloo, Iowa, 210 miles.
Customizes your home insurance, so you
West.
only pay for what you need.
Just picking up a hint of WOZN, Madison, Wisconsin, the zone. 77 miles, 1,000 watts. We're almost through. As you can tell, real sensitive radio. Okay, the music you're hearing, I think, is WPTX, which is Lexington Park, Maryland, 685 miles to the northeast. Nice.
Continue to work on those things that we continue to discuss, whether it be with
KBGG, Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles to the west.
being able to progress through, being able to recognize.
Well, there it is. Cool. Go ahead and turn it off. And we'll turn off our light here, so don't forget. Okay, there it is. The XHDATA D-109 at night. Very sensitive radio. It does improve a lot of that. You heard a lot of different stations mixing. Just a tough night, but it did find quite a few stations that were far away, which is amazing. Just a very sensitive radio. As you notice, no birdie tones or harmonics. Just a gorgeous radio to tune on medium wave. I like it. And as you can see, I use the memory mode, which works fantastic. Just do that and you'll be happy. It's the way to tune this radio. Fast, slow, just gets a little annoying, for me anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a like if you did. 2, if you like XHDATA radios. Subscribe at the bell icon. Get notified of future reviews, comparisons, band scans with this radio. I'm planning on doing FM and shortwave ones with this as well. And 3, comment below what you think about the D-109. Do you have one? You're going to get one? Let me know. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in my next video.